You spent years giving your energy to someone who barely texts back. You canceled your plans to be there for people who wouldn't cross the street for you. You poured your heart into relationships that left you empty, wondering why you always feel like you're begging for attention from those who should want to give it freely. And somewhere deep down, you already know the truth. You're chasing people who don't value you, and that chase is slowly destroying your soul. Arthur Schopenhauer understood something most people refuse to accept. The more you chase, the less you're valued. The more you pursue, the more you position yourself beneath someone else. It's not romantic. It's not loyalty. It's not love. It's self-betrayal disguised as devotion. And the world won't tell you this because the world benefits from your desperation. It keeps you distracted, obedient, and small. But once you learn what Schopenhauer knew about human nature, about desire, about the mechanics of respect, you'll never see relationships the same way again. Here's the brutal truth. People don't respect what comes easy. They don't value what chases them. They value what challenges them. What remains just out of reach. What doesn't bend and break at the first sign of their indifference. This isn't cruelty. This is reality. Schopenhauer built his entire philosophy around the idea that human beings are driven by will, by endless wanting, by a hunger that can never truly be satisfied. And when you make yourself completely available, when you remove all mystery, all distance, all tension, you become predictable. And what's predictable is boring. What's boring gets ignored. Think about it. When was the last time someone chased you and you felt magnetically drawn to them? Probably never. You might have felt flattered. You might have enjoyed the attention. But deep down, you didn't respect it. You didn't crave it. Because there was no challenge. There was no question. They gave you everything before you even had to wonder if they were worth your time. And that's exactly what you've been doing to others. You've been handing people your worth on a silver platter, and then wondering why they treat it like trash. Schopenhauer said that life is suffering, that desire is the root of all pain, and nowhere is this more visible than in the way we chase people. Every unanswered text is suffering. Every one-sided conversation is suffering. Every moment you spend wondering if they're thinking about you while they're clearly not is suffering. And you keep doing it because you believe the lie. The lie that says if you just try harder, if you just give more, if you just prove your loyalty, they'll finally see your value. But they won't. Because value isn't proven by chasing. It's demonstrated by walking away. There's a reason why the moment you stop caring, people suddenly notice. The second you pull back, they reach out. The instant you decide you're done, they want to know where you went. It's not coincidence. It's human psychology. Schopenhauer understood that people are not moved by what they have. They're moved by what they might lose. And when you're always there, always available, always waiting, there's nothing to lose. You've already surrendered. You've already shown that no matter how they treat you, you'll stay. And that makes you powerless. Power in relationships doesn't come from love. It comes from options. It comes from the ability to walk away. It comes from knowing that your presence is a gift, not a guarantee. And the moment you start chasing, you lose that power. You become the one who needs, the one who begs, the one who convinces. And no one is ever attracted to that energy. They might use it. They might exploit it. But they will never respect it. Look at your life right now. How many people are you chasing? How many relationships are you holding together with your effort alone? How many times have you been the one to reach out first, to apologize first, to care first, while the other person just passively receives? And what has it gotten you? Has it made them love you more? Has it made them prioritize you? Or has it just taught them that your attention is cheap, that your time is unlimited, that they can treat you however they want and you'll still be there waiting? Schopenhauer believed that most people live their lives in illusion, driven by blind will. never stopping to question why they do what they do. And that's exactly what chasing is. It's blind will. It's operating on autopilot, repeating the same desperate patterns because you're afraid of what happens if you stop. You're afraid of loneliness. You're afraid of being forgotten. You're afraid that if you don't chase, no one will choose you. But here's what you're not seeing. By chasing, you've already guaranteed that outcome because people don't choose what chases them. They choose what they're afraid to lose. This doesn't mean you become cold. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop volunteering your worth to people who haven't earned it. It means you stop giving your energy to those who drain it without giving anything back. It means you start treating your time, your attention, your presence as sacred, because it is. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You're here to live in it so fully that the right people recognize it without you saying a word. And yes, this will cost you relationships. It will cost you people who only liked you because you were easy to control. It will cost you friendships that only survived because you did all the work. It will cost you connections that were built on your fear of being alone rather than genuine mutual respect. And that's exactly the point. Those weren't real relationships. They were transactions. You were paying with your dignity, and they were collecting without ever intending to give back. When you stop chasing, you create space. Space for clarity. Space for self-respect. Space for people who actually want to meet you halfway. Because real relationships don't require you to beg. They don't require you to perform. They don't require you to shrink yourself into someone more convenient. Real relationships are built on mutual effort, mutual respect, mutual presence. And if someone can't offer that, they don't deserve access to you. Schopenhauer also taught that suffering comes from attachment, from clinging to things that were never meant to stay. And every time you chase someone who's pulling away, you're clinging. You're trying to force something that's already over. You're trying to breathe life into something that's dying. And in doing so, you're prolonging your own pain. Letting go isn't giving up. It's refusing to participate in your own destruction. It's choosing yourself when no one else will. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking why they don't choose you. Start asking why you keep choosing people who don't choose you back. Stop wondering what's wrong with you. Start realizing what's wrong with how you've been taught to love. You were taught that love is sacrifice, that love is endurance, that love is staying even when you're disrespected. But that's not love. That's self-abandonment. And it's time to stop calling it anything noble. The people worth having in your life will never make you chase. They'll show up. They'll communicate. They'll make effort. Not because you beg them to, but because they genuinely want to. And if they don't, that's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their priorities. And their priorities are none of your business. Your business is protecting your energy, honoring your boundaries, and refusing to settle for breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole meal. You don't need closure from people who walked away. You don't need an explanation from those who chose silence. You don't need to understand why they didn't value you. You just need to accept it and move on. Because every moment you spend trying to figure out why someone didn't love you correctly is a moment you're not spending loving yourself. And that's the real tragedy. Not that they left, but that you stayed stuck, waiting for them to come back and validate you. Schopenhauer's philosophy is dark, yes, but it's also liberating. Because once you accept that life is suffering, that people are driven by selfish will, that most connections are shallow and transactional, you stop expecting the world to be something it's not. You stop building fantasies around people who barely think about you. You stop giving power to those who don't even know how to hold it. And in that acceptance, you find freedom. The freedom to walk away. The freedom to be alone without being lonely. The freedom to build a life so strong that you don't need anyone's approval to feel whole. Never chase people. Not because you're too proud, but because you finally understand that anyone who needs to be chased doesn't want to be caught. They want the attention. They want the validation. They want to know they still have control over you. And the moment you stop running, they lose that power. Let them. Let them wonder. Let them realize too late what they lost. And let yourself finally be free.